Oh, hello there today. Good to see you. When it comes to getting a job, there are many different important things, but one of the most important factor is the CV. And doing right in the CV has allowed me to be accepted into many different industries in the past few years. But only 5 years ago, this is where I was as well.
नमस्ते मेरो नाम सुजल म अस्ट्रेलियाको 3 महिना जति भयो एन्ड I've applied to job everywhere सबैतिर जब एप्लाई गरिरहेको छु 2 हप्तामा मैले आई थिङ्क 160 ठाउँमा एप्लाई गरिसकेँ तर कतैबाट रिप्लाई आएको छैन दे से दे विल कल ब्याक बट दे डोन्ट आई डोन्ट नो वाट्स रङ आई डोन्ट नो वाट्स गोइङ अन आई थिङ्क आई विल नेभर गेट अ जब रियली
Namaskar साथीहरु, मेरो नाम सुजल खतिवडा. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for checking back. I used to think कि recruiters, employers हाम्रो CV चाहिँ मजाले पढ्न भ्याउनुहुन्छ होला. And then I realized they're really busy people. So I thought maybe 30 seconds, maybe 1 minute, त्यता पर्छ होला हाम्रो CV. And then I read an article and a research done by an online job matching site called The Ladder, published in the Time magazine, and it said that the recruiters read your resume for 6 seconds. So it's really important to have everything the CV needs and nothing else that it doesn't require to craft that perfect CV to give you the confidence and land that job interview. In any position, maybe in hospitality, in retail, or as an entry-level graduate in your aspired profession. So let's get into it. Today, we also have a special friend to talk about employment capsules beyond resumes and CVs. So let's do it. So what is a CV? CV, that stands for curriculum vitae, is Latin for course of life. So everything that you have done in your life, you've achieved, you aspire to achieve, and you are doing, combined into one document, is a CV, or also called resume. There are finer details that we can discuss about it later. But why is a CV required? The CV is one chance for you as a document to make that impression that you want on your potential employer, to land that interview, and boost your chance of getting the job. आउनु सुरु गरौँ our 11 steps to a great resume. Number 1, the format or the layout of the resume. There are many softwares you can use. थुप्रो सफ्टवेयरहरू छ तपाईको resume डिजाइन गर्नको लागि, such as Microsoft Word, Adobe Illustrator, Adobe InDesign, and tons of online resources such as Novo Resume, Resume Builder, and so on and on and on. Personally, I prefer to go with Adobe InDesign or Novo Resume. Novo Resume because it has great end user experience, has tons of options for free so use गर्नको लागि. And if your resume is just one page, you can download it for free as well. Now, talking about one page, that's what a resume should be. Your resume or CV should be just one page, especially if you're starting out. Well, later on, when you keep getting experience, your experience बढ्दै गयो भने you can keep going on, and then your resume 2 pages. I'd say 2 pages is the max, but that depends on your experience level. सुरुमा 1 page should be enough, 1 page resume. In terms of design, के गर्ने त? Should I stick with the traditional black and white design, or should I get more creative, use some colors, use some photos? That completely depends on you. You'll have many different people saying many different things in this matter, but that will depend on you. That will depend the job you're applying for, and that will depend on the job market you are in. Especially, I tend to use a 2-column, a little bit creative resume because that helps me fit all the information in one page. The big information is sufficient to fit in one page and it's clearer. I think that's even easier on the eyes, so you can go with that. In terms of colors, I would say no more than 2 colors in the resume. Unless you are an Illustrator ninja, then you can get creative. Otherwise, it looks a little bit flashy, it looks a little bit unprofessional. So maximum 2 color. And in terms of font, do not write in really small fonts. एकदमै सानो फन्टमा लेखेर don't challenge the reader. I would say 12-point font is ideal for a resume. Number 2, and perhaps the most important thing in my perspective, is make your own resume. I've seen so many friends, मैले कति साथीहरु देखेको छु, कति मान्छेहरु देखेको छु कि, and especially when you're starting out, we just want to copy others' resume and then just replace the names. मैले काम गर्ने कति ठाउँहरुमा, मैले सुपरवाइज गर्ने ठाउँहरुमा पनि कति रेजुमेहरु आउँदाखेरि I see that 2-3जना ग्रुपमा resume बाँड्न आउँदाखेरि they just write the same resume and change the names, and that's just so you are lazy, and no one wants a lazy person to work for them, right? So आफ्नो resume बनाउनुस्, just even if it's bad, it's yours. So get creative with it, make your own, don't copy other people's resume. So in terms of the layout, the third point is highlight your name and write a concise professional summary. आफ्नो नाम चाहिँ ठुलो लेटरमा लेख्नुस्, write your name in big letters, clear and standard font that grabs the attention. And you're a short and concise professional summary leख्नुस् that gives the information to your employer about you and also what you can bring to the table. And please do not एकदमै गर्नु नहुने कुरा चाहिँ do not copy this part of the internet. यो चाहिँ एकदमै common कुरा हो. Do not copy this part of the internet because it's about you. So write about yourself, and also make sure your grammar is on point, because this is the part where the resume starts and your part नै अलि sloppy भयो, grammar correct भएन, अथवा looks like you copied from somewhere भनेपछि no one is going to read that resume from there on. And another important tip is look carefully into the job description. हरेक job vacancy मा usually there is a section about roles and there is a section about your requirements or eligibility. Look carefully into the two, and त्यहाँबाट pick गरेर what skills are required, what qualities are required, and what keywords are required. त्यसलाई use गरेर चाहिँ write your professional summary. The fourth is photo or no photo. It's an age-old question in terms of resume. Resume बनाउँदाखेरि चाहिँ सधैँ यो डिबेट भइरहेको हुन्छ, should I use the photo, should I not use the photo? And you'll usually get two kind of thoughts in that. Number one is photo use गर्दा राम्रो हुन्छ, because the function of resume is to grab the attention of the recruiter, the employer, and then land you the interview and stand out of the crowd. So photo will help you do that. So as long as you're using a professional photo, a high quality professional photo, please use it. And on the other hand, orko line of thought, the other line of thought is do not use photo unless you are a celebrity. No one wants to see you on a resume. It's about your qualities, your achievements, your experience. It's not about how you look and what you do. I agree with both, but I personally prefer to go with the first one, because for me, also as experience, it has helped me to put the photo for many years. I've landed a lot of interviews and I've even got a lot of jobs with the CV. So personally, I go with the photo. Make sure it's a professional photo, it's high quality, and make sure it does not break the flow of your resume. Number 5, your work experience. Perhaps the most important part in any job application is this section, that is to outline your work experience. People want to know what you are capable of and if you have the track history of backing it up with what you've done in the past. So write where you've worked, how long you've worked there, and give a short summary of your roles and anything unique about the employee. But please, do not write just your responsibilities and duties that you had in the past. People usually don't want to know what you used to do in the other employer. Although that is a good space filler, better than most, in your resume, if you can though, make sure that you write what you've achieved while you are doing those responsibilities, and if those responsibilities helped you grow differently in your personal and professional life. So make sure that it's quantifiable, and make sure it's that you can relate it to it, and most importantly, when it comes to work experience, it has to be relevant. But another question is, what should I do if I don't have any work experience? Work experience छैन भने के लेख्ने the experience मा? Now that is an age-old puzzle that has not been solved yet. किनकि हामीलाई job चाहिने भनेकै experience को लागि हो. And experience छैन भने job पाइदैन. So what should I do? Should I get the job without experience? But there are some ways around it. For example, if you are applying for as an entry-level graduate some places, try to find an internship. Not always easy, but if it's possible, at an internship or a volunteering program, or try to do some projects that will help you out. But your problem चाहिँ त्यो भन्दा पनि बढी, most importantly, when you are a student, or especially overseas student or a backpacker, and then you go to a different country and you have no experience, no prior experience whatsoever, and you have to apply for a job, what do you do in that case? In that case, make sure that you write your education up top. If you don't have any work experience, your education can come in handy. And when you are writing about your work experience, anything you have done, try to relate that to the job you are applying for. For example, maybe you've helped your uncle in his shop, or maybe you've helped your friend in his work, or तपाईको कुनै साथी, they could be videographer, photographer, musician, filmmakers, and you can just stick with them and learn some skills and make sure that you can put that on your resume for the next job. Or if you're a programmer, you can get a laptop and write some codes. Or if you're a web designer, make a website, pay some money and host it, and maybe that can be your resume. Or if you are good in Instagram and Facebook, maybe you can talk to the shop next to you or the restaurant next nearby and tell them, hey, I can manage your social media for free. If you get some results, it's good. And if they allow, that can be on your resume. So if you don't have any experience, there are a lot of other ways that you can try to put something on your resume, but make sure that you do not lie. Don't lie on your resume. Another step, number 7, is education. Put your education on your resume. If it's relevant to the job you are applying for, absolutely put it. Also, the experience there is, as I mentioned before, if you don't have a lot of experience, then your education goes above your work experience in your CV. Also, if you have really good marks, तपाईँको marksहरू एकदमै राम्रो छ स्कुल कलेजमा भने it's a great idea to put it on the resume as well. Number 8 is your skills and your competencies. When it comes to skills and competencies on a resume, it's a great addition, but there are some slippery slopes. For example, try to avoid using soft skills like I'm a good communicator, team worker, hard worker, all that. It's not really bad, but these words are so overused that they don't really provide any information about you at all. Instead, try to use relevant, specific, and perhaps even technical skill sets in your resume that apply to your job. Here I have my two resumes, one is for hospitality and one is for engineering. And the skills that you require for these two professions are very different. Yeah, so you have to target the specific skills that you need in these two jobs rather than wasting the valuable real estate with just some general soft skills that the employer expects you to have anyway. Another one, number 9, is your achievements or your projects that you've done as a student or as a person. So if you have invested your time in developing your skills and achieve something and do some projects, तपाईले यति time लगाउनु भएको छ that developed you professionally and personally भने that goes into your resume. That shows the employer who you are. So put your projects, it could be your course related projects or it could be your personal projects, but as long as it's relevant and as long as it tells the employer or the recruiter that this is who you are as a person, that they can get a better insight of you, that definitely goes on your resume. Number 10, and you've seen this in every resume out there, I'm sure, is languages. Is language a good addition to the resume or not? In my opinion, it is, and there are a few reasons why it is. आजकल चाहिँ बिजनेसहरू they go global a lot, so they try to address a global customer basis, especially कुनै पनि business is small to large, उनीहरूको client base global छ or multicultural छ भने, so they will prefer you to speak more languages than one, obviously, because they can make direct sales to the customers. Also, being multilingual, according to a research done by Trinity Washington DC, is it helps your memory, changes your brain structure, and also helps you in problem solving and abstract thinking, and employers look for that. The last and the 11th step to craft a great CV is the grammar and the punctuation. Humans are prone to identify our own mistakes. हाम्रो mistakesहरू देखिँदैन, especially revisionमा, and grammar is so important in a resume because if your grammar is incorrect, that shows that तपाईले आफ्नो पुरै time दिनु भएन. You didn't put proper time in there and you didn't work hard enough and you are not passionate enough about that job. So if your grammar and punctuation is on point, the recruiter gets a better impression of you. So have a friend or a colleague read it. Also, you can use services like Grammarly that will change your game when it comes to grammar correction. But don't depend just on yourself and make sure your grammar and punctuation is on point. Along with all these steps, another step that is really important is to have a tailored CV. Have it customized. Because हामीले हाम्रो CV customized or tailored to the job गरेनौँ भने, if you don't tailor our CV to the job, it tells the employer that we are being lazy and no one wants to employ a lazy person. But how can you tailor your CV? For example, if you are applying for a job that's here, you go into the section such as the job description, the roles and the requirements, and then you pick the keywords and qualities like I mentioned before, and then you turn your CV to fit that job or that employer and make sure that you are eligible to apply. Now, having tailored a sparkling resume is a massive win and that will definitely help you land an interview. But are there other things that are also important to get an interview or a job? Now we have our special friend to talk to us about things that are beyond resumes as well. So Suveksha Gimre, he lives in the UK, he studies computer engineering there. He's founder and CEO of an amazing startup called Unitech UK, who help the universities and colleges to manage their clearing issues and streamline the admission process. Let's give her a call and find out from her. Hello, Subha. कैसा हाल खबर?
एकदम ठीक-ठाक.
Well, thank you for talking to us. All yours.
It's all my pleasure. At Unitech, we are really passionate about AI and machine learning. As such, we're looking for graduates who are passionate about AI, about machine learning, about taking challenges and working the extra mile. How do we search for these graduates? There are 3 things that I've found that has sort of stood out in the CVs that I've looked. First, sure, do your CV, make it interesting, list all the activities that you've done, but also create additional documents. For instance, a GitHub account that shows the code that you've done in your final year project, or a YouTube video link that where I can go and see what you're passionate about. That sort of stands out. The second thing is get your LinkedIn right, make it professional, engage with the companies that you're trying to apply to. A lot of employers nowadays look for potential hires in LinkedIn, which is why it's best to get that right. The third thing is an insider connection. An insider connection works big time. We have all heard about it, but we don't necessarily pursue it. I would suggest everybody to pursue internal connections. Find them, connect with them, tell them all about your passion and professional interest. They would be the strongest cover letter that you would find while applying to these companies. Lastly, I just want to end by saying, practice your interviews, call a friend, have them ask you as many questions as possible until you feel like you've told everything about yourself. Good luck.
Thank you, Suveksha, for the amazing information. When it comes to job search, there is no such thing as not getting a job. It's only about when are you getting a job. So make your CV, reach out to people, and apply to as many places as possible. So friends, today we've talked about what is a CV, why is it important, what formats can you use, कसरी चाहिँ यसलाई राम्रो बनाउने, refine गर्ने, what steps can you use to make it really great, make the best that you can make. We've talked about other things such as insider recommendation, LinkedIn, and also showing off your work in other platforms to back up your CV. We've talked of it all. So please comment what format would you use? Would you use a traditional one, or would you get more creative? Or do you like using photo on your resume, or you don't? Please comment, I really want to know. And subscribe to the channel for our weekly content. I will see you next week. Thank you for watching the video. Namaskar.